Everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show panel discussion. And I don't have much of a panel tonight because I'm trying to keep things multi sided. And one person called out. One person called out. And I hope they get better. Laryngitis, get better. Garlic, water, all the good stuff. Good vibes. Crystal Network, you're on it. And so thanks, everybody. Got Aussie Tiger and me so far. Looks like we got other people. So for the moment, let me get a sound check, please. Let me see how I sound. Hey, Renee. All right, we hear you, Director Mod, DJ Wardove, Tim. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Oops. Pushing all the wrong buttons. But yeah. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Excellent. Sounds good. All right. The mainstream news, the election, and hybrids. Oh, what a roundup that was. That first show was pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot because I brought in Resplex and Lily Nova, who normally are not in the same circle of things, but they both touched on the elections and the hybrids, which was really cool. Of course, Lily is always covering that stuff. She's always, but Resplex does not. Resplex, it's hard to get on Resplex. She's big time mainstreamer. I'll bring up the shows. I'll bring them back up, right? I will go over what I went over. Let's see here. Okay, this is Resplex. She was the one. She's the one who talked about the hybrids and not all human going over there. Whoa. So that's her. And then talked about whoops, let me still getting used to all these buttons, right? That was Resplex and Lily Nova. Okay. She talked about going to the polls and how they're, I think she's misinterpreting. They're not demonic. They're not angelic. Those are terms that we as humans relate to. And we understand. Hey, Rachel, Obi2 in the house. Awesome. Hope you enjoyed the first hour. I hope everybody did because it was, I did not expect mainstream to come to me and say, here's your show. But it does. Sometimes it does. So I have, you know what? I've asked Amy if she wants to come over. We'll see. I doubt it, but she's a busy lady. So, and she's got stuff to do during the day. And yes, Samo, thank you everybody for here. Quantum, thanks for being Quantum Show legends. And you all are your Quantum Show legends. And I went over a little bit about that troll we had. Well, not really a troll, but just a visitor that wasn't impressed with the show last week. That's fine. He didn't understand what we were about, and I'm not Third Phase of Moon. Okay, well, it's up. You can go watch it when you get a chance if you want to. I mean, it's all audio, so links in the descriptions of both this show and the last one if you want to. I urge you to. I thought it was pretty good. And well, like I said, Amy is invited. I'm gonna actually invite get Keith over here if he wants to come over. I never know if anyone's available, so and that's okay because I believe he saw my message. If he's able. If you're able, that's fine. If not, that's also fine. I know you got a life and all. So, yeah, I know. And they took him to Wales. They took him to Wales. Tell us, Monty, preach that stuff, dude. Costco in Wales. Yeah, there's a reason all this weird stuff comes out of Wales. And what's that other where Doctor Who was? Where was Doctor Who? I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. They did the Doctor Who. They did Torchwood. Yeah, mostly Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. Where was that? Well, Doctor Who was Wales, but these other shows, Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood, they were in Cardiff. That's it. That's where I was thinking Cardiff. Hey, we came up with it at the same time, Monty. Well, yeah, England, sure, but Cardiff. And yeah, Doctor Who was Wales, but Doctor Who went all over. Okay, I was thinking specifically of Cardiff, right? And I know not the capital of England. That would be London. Let me see. Do I got any responses yet? Not yet. Nobody's knocking, so I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone. If people show up, people show up, right? So there's a lot that goes on over there. It needs its own TV show, its own mainstream coverage because it's not a coincidence that the science fiction people want to use Wales. It's it's um it's just weird, and specifically Cardiff. And by the way, Cardiff to the United States is a setting in a TV show. We don't know it's the capital of anything. We don't know much about that area of the world at all in our everyday studies. I mean, I blame the school system. So 3:45. Hoy. Yeah, I want to go. It seems like a great place to go. Did y'all see my short about making Irish coffee? That was it was really good. And that's as close to Wales as I can get. That's as close to that part of the world as I can get. And they need more shows up there. Oh, yeah, dude. I almost bought it. I still might buy it. I just am not buying it right now because I got things I got to fix. But tell you what, you know what I did? Oh, where did it go? I bought the other one. It's the toy one. Let me bring it. Let me bring it up. I did buy the toy one. Where is it? And it's on its way. It'll get here when it gets here. I gotta bring it. I deleted it, so I stopped looking at it because I already bought it. I showed Monty. Monty said he wants one, and that it looks like a toy, and it does look like a toy, but it's got a good look to it. Where? Okay, let me just. Where am I at? I'm bringing it up. I did get a robot dog, another one, not just me and orange spot over here. Oy. Okay, this is. It's wanting to do a code. and I had to log in to check my orders. It's taking its time. I get a better idea. Well, there it is. I, sorry about this dead air, y'all. Okay. Now I want to look at my orders, please. Just my orders. Okay. Here we go. I will bring it up now. And I do not regret it. I might regret it later. Sorry about the dead air, y'all. It's on its way. Let me go ahead and do that. It's on its way. Yeah. Well, that's why I work for a living and I can do what I want, right? Plus, if ever, so I picked it up. I picked it up for sure. It's on its way. I'm very happy with it. Well, I'm happy with it until I get it because I couldn't find. I'm going to do a review on this one because I couldn't find any reviews. I did not buy the $4,000 one, though it might still happen eventually. And that is the second one coming out. I want to see what they're doing as far as firmware updates and things like that. Okay, and upgrades that I could not to this thing. This thing on the screen right now. This is literally a toy. It's meant to inspire me. Okay, all this y'all are. We're having a good old time over here. No, that's we're all having a good old time over here. Yeah. So, uh, how do I remove? Okay, so that is me. I did get that robot dog. Oh, you mean which one are you talking about? The robot dog? Are you talking about the the really expensive one from Boston Dynamics? That needs to be upgraded. 20-minute battery. You know what they need? They need one of these generators. They need one of these I need to provide that generator. 24 volts, easy. And I think you're talking about that one. The one I got, I don't know, the batteries might last a day or two. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Boston Dynamics, good look, 36 grand. That other one, 4 grand. And that's not the worst price you can pay. There are more expensive models, and they're actually redistributing them. The one from uh, the other one, the go to. Yes, Lynn has laryngitis. She couldn't make it tonight. So I'm on the panel. Links have been sent out. I guess they're busy, so that's fine. When you're busy, you're busy. It's Friday night. A lot of people don't want to be on the internet on Friday night. They want to be out doing stuff, even this late. The night isn't over for a while. And I didn't cover all the jokes, but I covered a lot of them. So, yeah, I got that toy one on its way. Sunday morning. Oh, if you say you're also in a time warp over there. You got like well-known time zones that just don't exist in reality. You're in the land of Doctor Who. Just accept it. We have. Oh, Saturday. My bad. I'm in a time warp. It's Saturday, Sunday, right? Not quite Sunday here, but you still have the Wool something footbridge where people have a time dilation thing there. Yep, there we go. Wibbly wobbly. You know it. Oh, I must. That must be what happened. That must be what happened. Okay, for y'all that didn't catch the first show, right? I was talking about ufology making its way into the mainstream and how the algorithm on YouTube is working towards getting it pushed out there instead of getting it against. Flex, link in description. She, okay, me. I'll show her again here. Nope, nope, nope. Where is, oh, I got to do that. I got to do this from show you. Flex. Okay, now that I know you can see the screen, right? Flex was talking about that area, and that is the hot zone. You want to bring that up? That is the hot zone. I'm just gonna continue with the first hour. That's fine. Nobody wants to come up. Fine. I'll do me and keep on talking about it because I told you I could talk about this a long time. So Flex was talking about actually P. Diddy and all the elite super rich people living in this area. And then she talked about not all human. I listened and she was talking about hybrids. She's talking about the hybridization program. And I find that amazing that it's making its way to somebody like Flex. She was talking about politics of P. Diddy and rich people. And okay, since I'm here by myself, I want to, let me go ahead and stop sharing that. Let me go ahead and talk about some stuff that it's uncomfortable to talk about with a lot of people, right? And I'll say it here, human trafficking is a big, bad thing, okay? That's where these things were coming from. That's where these topics were coming from. They're not all human. Well, humans are bad enough. And I don't think they're alien from out there. I think they're residents along with us. I really do. So, yeah, and it's real. And you know why it doesn't get ratted out all the time? Because the people who are doing it can get other people in trouble too, and they don't want to be involved. So when that's why I say, and I haven't said it on here much. That's why I say when you see it, first of all, report it, and then if you can, do something about it, hands on, right then and there. Don't turn your head. If you're in that situation, you're put there for some reason. Make a change for real. I'm the crazy one. I'm the one who gets involved too much. When that girl ran up to my car that day, that was that was the quantum reaching out to me. I don't know what happened. Maybe she just needed the police there and she was under duress. I don't know. So I did it. Mm. Yeah. Sam was saying this is our private show, cozy cool off session. Yeah. And I hate to talk about politics and stuff, but it's in our face. The muggles got it so much going on right now. You got the whole P. Diddy thing, which is blowing the top off a lot of stuff. And it started with Epstein, okay? And that started, but it went before that. It's some crazy stuff, y'all. And we're in the middle of it. It's being shown to us. These people who are all involved, those are the leadership. And I think they're into some very dark occulty type stuff. And when we, as just citizens, right? This is anybody. This is you in Wales, in England, in UK, in Australia, wherever. Us in the United States, we got to just we're put there for a reason, either to blow the whistle or do something about it personally. I choose the personal approach because I end up getting myself into situations with that woman, that homeless woman, and oh man, when it walks up to me, when people walk up to me, I don't ignore them. I never ignore them because it just doesn't fit in my paradigm, whatever, right? So I get involved. My friends think I get involved too much because it's none of my business. And well, when people come up to me, that makes it my business. I am now in this business. I'm all up in that business. When something walks up to me and says, "You have a choice. You can do this or you can do that." And I choose to do something that involves action. I urge everyone to do that, okay? Don't be disruptive, but if something needs to be disrupted, be the bull that disrupts it all. So when something comes up to me, and this wrist flex fell in my wheelhouse this week, I did not I did not expect to see wrist flex of all people. I was actually looking at coverage about election political stuff. I don't talk about politics here, but it's real. And the quantum world affects the real world, the muggle world. I see it every day. Thanks, everybody. Okay, the mods are telling me, please like and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum. He said it. He got the tagline down. I can only promote you so much. And thank you, Samo. Yeah, the muggles are pretty well crushed emotionally until New Year's. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're all in this together. The world's not going to end because of some political stuff and campaigning, and it won't. I guarantee it. Everybody thought that about Bush. Everybody thought that about Trump before. And what happened? We hardly anybody even moved to Canada. They all said they're going to move to Canada and Mexico, and we're like, well, you better put up the for sale sign because it's time. And they didn't. Most of them didn't. Some of them did. But then now a lot of people are fleeing the country because of that stuff with P. Diddy. And it really isn't P. Diddy. It's Epstein. All that stuff. They're all into it. And I'm glad light's being shined on all that dark shit because we don't need it. Earth does not need that dark stuff. Not at all. We are conflicted enough as it is on a personal level. Mm. And let's see, news of the week. I told you I bought the dog. It'll be here. I almost bought the $4,000 one, but I got stuff I got to take care of. Like I got cars that need repairs, and I'd rather do that. I almost bought the clone bike. I did because they have a much friendlier finance plan, but I did not buy it. I could just drive over there and pick one up. You know how tempting it is to just drive over there? I'd Uber over there, get to that thing, say, drop me off, I'm buying this thing, and drive it home. It is so tempting to just, you know how easy they make it? Uh, and I would have to, for the dog, I would have to finance through PayPal or something, but I'm not really into that. The clone bike, that looks really cool. Anyway, I'm not getting it. The only robot dog I'm getting is this little one over here. Where did I have it? Yeah, this one. This is the only one. This is the only me. Well, me and I should do a robot dog show one day, because now I'm gonna have this one. And does it looks the part? Okay, it looks really. Let me see if I can actually go over to it, and yeah, it looks the part. I know it doesn't have. Hopefully, y'all can all see that, right? I know it doesn't have all the same things, but I'm gonna put an arm on it. I'll put my own robot arm on it. Okay. And I don't know if I got this gel ball blaster. I don't really care if I did. I don't want the gel ball blaster, right? It's that's the Nerf stuff. I'm not interested. And yeah, it's got all the watermarks. And is it just me, or does that thing look like it has wheels on it? The feet look like they have wheels on it. I mean, those look like wheels. I don't think they're motorized, but we'll see. Look at that crazy controller. It says programmable, but I don't know. And it's just more of the same. Yeah, see, handshake, robot dog, programming, remote control voice, and China. Thanks, AliExpress. So I got my fix on the. Oh, where? Wait a minute. On the robot dog. We shall see. I'm going to review it, right? I'm going to be reviewing that thing. And I'm probably, like I said, do a robot dog toy thing. I mean, got the robot dog right there. You could say it's a dog, but you could say it's a lot of things, right? That is one of the T13. Oh, I'm losing people. I had 21 people in them. I started rambling because I have no good panel today, or no many people panel today. But I'll talk more about Lily Nova. Lily Nova's out there. She's a Lily Nova Starseed. Let me get her on the screen right here. And I'll get her on the screen because her channel is a good channel. Very good channel. And I do like her. Beast mode. Heck yeah, you know it. Let's look at Lily Nova for a minute, shall we? Right now, she has 22,000 subscribers with 224 videos. Let's look at her videos, right? I'm not competing. Of course, I'm not competing. Uh-oh, somebody's knocking on the door. Let me get this out of here. Stop sharing. Hey, Keith, I didn't know if you're going to make it or not. Welcome back to the Quantum.
I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Okay, well, we don't have to do an hour or two. We can, if you're okay, you're okay. For 15, 20 minutes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I figured I was still sort of conscious, so I figured I'd drop in.
Well, drop out if you need to. It's all good. I know you lead long days.
Oh, I do. I mean, if I do track it to make sure I know what I'm up to.
Mm-hmm. So did you get 3 hours of sleep? 2? 3.5?
No, today I actually got up at 6. Of course, I had to stay up 20 and 22 hours in order to stay asleep that long.
Oi. Well, I covered some stuff. I don't know. You probably didn't see my first hour. I didn't see you in there, but that's okay.
No.
I covered ufology is making its way to the mainstream again. And we're all familiar with a lot of these topics already. I know you are, right? Now there's this one girl, her name is Riss Flex. I was just showing her, you know what, I'll bring it up again just so we're all familiar, right? If you can see it, hope you can see it. This is her channel, and this is where she brought up the hybrid program. I could not believe it. She was talking about the bad stuff about P. Diddy and all that, and then she started talking about hybrids are involved. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And she was talking about this regional area around Florida and uh, the island chains down there, right?
Right.
And she said, I don't know why all these people go there. It's a beautiful area. Maybe that's why they go, but they all go here. And I'm like, that's the hot zone. That's where all that, and there's been said an underwater base in this area, as well as the other one that was just in the news again over by Baja, Mexico, between
Yeah.
Baja, Mexico and another island. That's literally both sides of the United States. So Risplex was talking about, and she brought up hybrids. She actually used the words "not all human," and that made me think of, well, it made me think of you, Keith, because I don't think aliens are influencing us. I don't think that's what's happening. And according to everything you've said and in the books, they're not allowed to. They don't mess with us.
Bingo.
But what about the ones that live here?
The ones that live here, and that's where it gets to be a little screwy. And the hybrids don't may do all sorts of things, but the thing you gotta realize is even the ones that are living here are under strict observation.
Okay. So what Riss was talking about was, I'll just say it. Now, don't get upset, but this is a very touchy topic for the world, let alone us. But she brought up the hybrids, and because she was talking about human trafficking, and that people involved here are not all human. These are her reports,
Right.
okay? Not mine. These are her reports. And because I have experience with hybrids also, it's relevant to the quantum show. So she was talking about, and I've been thinking, well, we all live here together. Maybe now, specifically, what she was talking about was, well, the human trafficking aspect and where does this all come from and why do they do this? And without getting into the evil humans of all this, because we all know about that, and I don't want to get kicked off YouTube or you to get kicked off YouTube. Um, she was bringing up the hybrids who are involved, and maybe this is part of the hybridization program. But I've seen the hybridization program work a very different way. All what she's talking about is people are being forced into it. That's what she's talking about by other humans. They're being given to this hybridization program forced via human on human trafficking. And I'm not sure about that. Now, that kind of digs deep. See, this is a very touchy topic, especially for the quantum show. And now, Keith, since you're here and you have contact with these people, all these people, do you have any information if it doesn't make any heart attacks happen? Please share.
Oh, I reached a couple of points. I don't really worry too much about the heart attack at this point, but I appreciate the concern. Number one, I'm not going to debate what she said as far as that goes. Okay, the fact that that's what she's saying. When we start looking at trafficking, we have to realize something. Trafficking happens, absolutely, but there's no question when you're dealing with the hybridization program, humans are not asked by humans or off-worlders. You just don't get asked about participating in the hybridization program. I mean, let's face it, humans don't ask tigers whether or not they can abduct them, whether they can abduct them and run tests.
Right.
Why not?
Well,
That was literally a question. Why don't humans have tigers if it's okay if they abduct them?
oh, okay. Well, we consider them lesser in intelligence, and we consider them animals, and we don't think. Now, I've never abducted a tiger, to be honest. But I'm answering right,
Yeah,
not as a tiger abductor, but just as someone talking about the topic. That we'd, if I was to, I can say capture a cow, right? If I was to capture a cow, to tag it, to do whatever with it,
yeah,
and I wouldn't ask the cow either, just like we wouldn't ask the tiger, because first, tiger can eat us, the cow can run us over,
yeah,
and I don't want either of that to happen. So you put them both out somehow in tiger and cow. How did we get
yeah,
here? We're talking like tranquilizer darts, um, sleep gas, something like that,
yeah.
right?
Anything to take them out of the equation.
Hmm. So, was that a question looking for a follow up, or
Oh no, that was the question. Just simply asking for why aren't humans actually asked about that? Why are they forced into it? Well, the
right?
reality of it is this. Number one, as you pointed out, many of the off-worlders do see humans as a lower life form, as not so much an animal. So I mean, technically yes, but kind of like a chimpanzee,
Right.
aka they've got some intelligence, but there is no way they're going to explain it.
Okay. I kind of
Yeah,
feel the same way, that we're lower, but like a chimpanzee, and that they're okay. They seem to be. Some of us are being used in the hybridization. Some of us are being researched upon. Some of us are being just straight up taken. Okay. But in the case of Risk Flex, she was talking about the hybridization program in regards to human trafficking, and that they're using bad humans, or, yeah, they're using humans that are willing to get involved in someone in abducting other people for whatever reason and send them up. Now, when I say send them up, I just mean send them up the channels. I don't mean send them up to the ship. It's not what I'm saying. Okay, just send them
let me
where the
ask you
boss
this.
says. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: if you had the option of abducting somebody with no interaction, okay, or you had to do it face to face, even hiring somebody, okay, and you had to take them by force. So you can either you can either abduct somebody with no blemishes, or you can leave all kinds of marks all over them. Which one makes more sense?
The other one makes more sense. Yeah, no blemishes. The
Then
and
why, pray
also
tell, would somebody with the capacity to immobilize a community and pick what they wanted, why would they bother hiring a bunch of barbarians to kidnap somebody?
well, that brings up another point. Why did this even come up? Why, I mean, Risk Flex is not someone to talk about this stuff. She's a political talker, and I never bring her up because of that. But she brought up the hybridization program. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, what she was talking about was stealing people from Earth who are, let's face it, Keith, it's more or less accepted by people because it's not in their face, right? It's not in their everyday life that people go missing, and they just, we do things like, say, I'm talking muggles, right? It's such a shame somebody got that person and they went missing in a park, and it's so easy to say, "Oh well, not part of it's none of my business." That's what a lot of muggles do. They
Now,
just,
correct me if I'm wrong,
yep,
but you did say this individual is usually a political reporter.
yes,
So, what would be the rational reason for talking about interstellar slavery?
She brought it up as the hybridization program. She didn't say interstellar slavery, right? She didn't use that term. So maybe she just doesn't know to go there, but I will have to review her show because it was at the moment was like, whoa, why are you even talking about this risk? And I reached out to her, but it was kind of last minute, so I'm not really. And she brought up that these people were reporting. What did she say? You know what? I'm gonna have to stop right there because I need to review. I need to review. But she brought it up, and I'm still wondering where she gets this link because it landed on me to do it, and I take action. All right, the other person who I wanted to talk about was this other person. Now, this is more, I don't know. This is more down to earth for a lot of people. This is Lily Nova Starseed. And here she was talking about she went to vote. She went to her early voting place in Missouri. Okay. And she is a starseed. And she says she's always in contact. So she says, and I believe her. She preaches a lot of the good vibes things like we all like to talk about. And she never talks about this stuff, but she and Risplex are kind of intersecting as far as the hybrids. And well, here's what she said. I don't have permission to play her video. I can only relate what she says, all right, and play and show stills. So she said she went to the polls to do her early voting in Missouri, and she's in constant contact with whoever she's in contact with, and they told her, we dimmed your light because we want to see what you see, and we want you to go undercover. That was literally her topic. What did she say? I went undercover. Where am I? I went undercover and remote viewed the voter polls, boots on the ground style. She went there and she was looking through cloaks. Now, what she said was demonic demonic reptilians. And I'm like, hold on a second. There are still not demons and not demonic reptiles. I disagree with that. She is subject to the same perception filters that we're all subject to. So she was talking about seeing votes getting changed. But I'm also thinking she was talking about seeing opinions get changed. Because when you remote view, from what I understand, and when you're influencing someone, you don't influence the paper that person has already affected. It's already affected. It's locked in. But you can mess with their head. So I think she was seeing not demonic, but selfish, and has because they live here too. And I don't know why this is coming up for these two particular people, right? And I hate to bring it up, but it's literally falling in my wheelhouse. Um, so she saw, okay, let me just get through that, right? She saw, now what she said, demonic reptilians influencing people at the polls. And she also saw angelic people influencing people at the polls. Now, here's my stance. They're not angels, they're not demons. They may be residents because they live here too, even though they're under strict instructions. They don't want uh, turmoil up here of any kind because it affects them too. Okay, I will stop talking. Keith, what do you think? Don't get upset. But Keith, what do
Oh
you think?
no, I'm doing my level best to actually bite my tongue on certain aspects, but let me put it this way. Yes, there's no question hybrids are permitted to vote. Absolutely. But let's be clear about something. Demonic is usually when you start looking at demonic, this is usually tied to the church. Okay. People that are not tied to a church of some form don't look at things from a demonic standpoint. We'll start there. Number two, when you're looking at reptilians, I wish people would be a little more specific, because there are at least a dozen reptilian-like races that I'm personally aware of. Species. Never mind race. There's more than that. Okay. So this idea that there are demons and angels influencing the voting, it's brilliant. Okay. We got demons and angels influencing the voting. This totally negates the other aspect of religion, where God gave man free will and freedom of choice. He didn't give him freedom from consequence. Now, if man was given free will and free choice, why would demonic or angelic forces be put down to influence what man was up to?
Mm-hmm.
The logic side, it boils down to fear-mongering.
I agree. And I think also when someone says demonic and angelic, they're humans talking about this stuff. They wouldn't know an angel or a demon if it came up and bummed a cigarette from them or
No,
asked
but
for
the
a
neighbor
dollar.
might know if it's a demon.
Okay, but people aren't. It's like you said, it's fear mongering. And when I hear stuff like that, I always go to, you are misinterpreting something. If you say you saw a demon, let me get your account. And let me tell you, almost every time it's not a demon and it's not an angel. Almost, I'll go ahead, Keith. You have something?
I'm just wondering why, and I always, when people start looking at the demon side of things, I always question what part of the country they're actually based in.
Okay.
The reason for it is because, you're bringing demons and angels, and all of a sudden you're right smack in the middle of Christianity. Never mind any other religion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to realize that for a unified religion, according to the internet, and I don't trust that as far as I can throw it, there are approximately 45,000 different Christian denominations. Not what I call unified.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment we start looking at demonic reptilians, well, first of all, Christians inevitably look at anything reptilian and go, oh, that's evil because that's what the devil showed up as. Okay. But this idea that they are influencing things no more so than humans are.
Okay. That makes more sense than demons and angels influencing a lot of this stuff. Because I think they're people doing it. I don't think it's anything supernatural, how a lot of people think of it, like haunted houses or stuff. I think it's people doing it. I think it's very gifted people. Remote viewers, there's dark remote viewers. There are people who go
Absolutely,
in.
there are.
Yeah, they go. I've heard stories of they go in and they pose as shadow people, deem anything to scare this person into doing something or acting a certain way. Right? Yeah, it's like a lobbyist thing, and it's fear mongering. And if we could just
Well,
let go of the fear,
on the
go ahead.
plus side, and this bodes really well, somebody that has known me for decades flat out told me I'm completely off my nut. They told me that today, that I am completely off my nut. So,
Mm-hmm.
in other words, I'm literally, I'm crazy.
Has he seen where we come from? what this stuff? We're not crazy. You're not crazy. I'm not crazy. I don't think Lily's crazy or Risplex. I think they're misguided and they're misunderstanding what's going on. I really do. Uh, so let
This,
them call us crazy.
this is why you have to look at things when you start taking a look at these two. First thing you ask is what their background in spirituality is.
Mm-hmm.
The odds are they're talking demons and angels. The odds are they're Christian background. Now,
Right.
I have a Christian background. You know, I was growing, oh, there we go. I have to go, if you're crazy, then you're quantum. Thanks, Ozzy. Yo, I always look at it from that standpoint because, I mean, let's face it, I've been very blatant about it. Yo, I do believe wholeheartedly in God. I absolutely believe in Christ, probably more so than most. Yo, but am I going to sit here and go, yeah, they got it all right, and the angels are influencing? Let me ask you this. If the angels, the people that are actually supposed to represent the best of the best, if they are influencing the lobbyists, why are they leaving the legal system alone, enabling criminals to hold court, to go into office, or criminals to go on strike? I mean, realistically, if they are backing the positive side of things, why are they leaving the criminal system in the state it's in? It doesn't add up. And I'm
Right.
just asking questions that don't make sense, that
I,
are based on what doesn't add.
right. And I agree. I love asking these questions because, well, it's the search for the truth, is what it is. Okay. And yes, I am human and I am subject to perception altering so it makes sense for my little brain. But ever since I hit my head, it has not stopped. It's been one thing after another, and I've had to make sense of it. And now that I'm all grown up and stuff, I can start perceiving not with a bias, but with an as unbiased as I can. And since all the weird stuff started happening, now I'm starting to see things for what they really are. And I think I just went off on a little bit of a tangent there. I'm sorry about
You
that.
did.
But you're right. That stuff doesn't make sense. I think it's other humans. And I'm going to go ahead and get her off the screen. Thanks, Lily. Shout out Lily Nova. But we're all in this together. And I think your perception is just a little incorrect. Okay. The only thing I can think, like you say, Keith, they don't want us to destroy the planet, regardless of what we're doing to each other. They will guard the planet because the planet seems to be, we're valuable all by ourselves, but the planet is valuable also. We're the ones with the, I call it quantum link. You say 0 point, we do it. And manifestation is a good show of that. We make things happen either totally energetically, which is harder to do than actually working towards something.
Oh, yeah. This is why I tell people all the wishful thinking in the world, right, isn't going to do you a bit of good if you don't get your butt off the floor.
Right. You got to work towards it. We have seen energy work, but energy work is not going to fix my car.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah, that's why I work.
Quick sidetrack. But I got told today, somebody I've been telling for a while, where you have the linguistical state of, I want such and such. And I keep telling people, quit using the term want, shift it to desire or choose.
Mm-hmm.
The individual came to me today and they were absolutely beside themselves in a happy way. They said the day that they took their comment of, I want this to happen, they went, the day I turned that around and said, no, I don't want it to happen. I desire this to happen. Within less than 24 hours of a struggle point they've been going through for months, flipped on its ears and worked out.
Yeah, that puts the word out. And it's a different context, totally different meaning, because want is like, it sounds like a complaint, it says, I want this.
Well, you're asking what you're saying generating is a lack of.
Right.
So it's like, I desire, it basically says, I desire to experience a lack of whatever. So you get a lack, and then you complain you didn't get what you asked for. But the reality is you got what you asked for.
Right.
Now, where it comes to this issue of humans slave trading hybrids, or slave trading humans to make hybrids, number one, it doesn't add up. There's too many things that don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I say don't take my word for it. Ask the questions.
Right. Well, we will always be asking the questions, because this kind of thing, it seems to come up every now and again anyway, where the mainstream will stumble upon something and they make these crazy claims like demons at the polls. I don't think that's happening, right? I think she's misinterpreted other humans doing human things, and her mind's eye is painting them as demonic lizards, which again I don't think exist. Uh, and energy work is, let me tell y'all, it's quite powerful. When you get someone who's really good at it, they can make you see things like demonic lizards. And it's sometimes, now I've heard Project Bluebeam, they talk about putting thoughts in people's heads, and that sounds strangely familiar to Lily Nova's thing, saying she was seeing, and well, people like us, like Lily and us, we are kind of open to a lot of stuff. It's how we deal with it, right? But we're able to perceive a lot of stuff. And I think we're kind of like a target audience for this stuff, that they want us to be influenced. So we will go out and influence others. And I think a lot of people fall into that through fear mongering, because it's so easy to wrap our heads around. Being scared is in our genetic code. We don't want to get eaten by something, and it's really easy to push our scare buttons. We agree on this. And yeah, I don't believe there's angels and demons influencing the elections. I really don't. I think that is, I I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense. And with Risplex talking about that part of the world, those are human parts of the world. Off of Florida, the hot zone over near where Atlantis is reported to have been at one point. And
Part
well,
of it was.
say that again?
Part of it was.
Right. Part of it was, and my little flashback when I had Raven on the line, I was talking to Raven, which of course, I didn't record it, right? Of course, it never happens that way. I had a weird flashback, or my PTSD, where all the survivors of that area went to South America, Florida, and the little islands that are out there. And it was seriously traumatic, let me tell you, Keith. And I don't even know where that came from, but it's there. And now it's on the Quantum Show several times over now. I've talked about it a lot. You know what, Keith? It's been an hour, and I'm both out of coffee and I need to use the bathroom. So I will be right back. Let me see. Do I have a? I had a watch for. You know what? I'll just do this. I'll just do this. I have a banner for it, but I'm gonna just do that. I'll be back.
Absolutely. I'm not exactly going far. I got my coffee in front of me.
Okie doke.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning on being here, but I will tell you the same dang thing I've told people on my stream. If you've got a question, absolutely ask. I'll do what I can. But I will tell you, the moment we start dealing with hybrids and slave trading, which is really what it boils down to, you gotta start asking questions. What makes sense? Because I don't know about you, but when we start taking a look at humans abducting people and trading them off to off-worlders, there's too many variables that just don't add up. I am wondering. That's the biggest thing I look at. DJ, I hate to tell you this, but if you're seeing ghosts, you're seeing dead people. All a ghost really is all a ghost really is a person that no longer has a vehicle. Well, ultimately, human, a person is a ghost in a meat suit. Whether we are talking a human or reptilian or whatever race and whatever species we're looking at. This is ultimately what you're looking at. Well, yeah, like Samuel, you're going to ghost is someone's relative. So why would they be going? Why would ghosts be evil? Ultimately, you're correct. If they were decent people in the physical world, 90% of the time they'll be decent people over there. Well, that stands to reason. I mean, let's face it. Ghosts have this neat little problem. I wonder. Ghosts have this neat little catch where.
Then thank you for being patient. Sorry, I didn't mean to. What's up?
Oh, that's okay. You're back.
You're taking questions?
Well, it was just sort of, I figured I had to do something.
Yeah. So let's look at what did you address over here?
Oh, just the issue of ghosts and what have you.
Okay. Yeah. Samuel was like, "Yep, bladder check."
I'll be right back there, guys.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not aliens calling him this time. I don't think they use phones. I will look at these now. I will look at these. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and mute him so I want to preserve his, his business off air business. And yeah. Coffee check, bladder check. Check. Let's see. Tim, I always see ghosts. I don't always see dead people. Yeah. I don't see them. I feel them. I feel a presence, and then I don't know if I am seeing them, but then my subconscious will like paint a picture for me so I can, I guess, relate to it. That doesn't happen very often. It's all the feeling. I do have all the feelings about it though. And let's see. I meant to say hide. Okay. Alrighty then. That's us. That is us. And I see them everywhere. We're the meat mechs being run by ghosts. Okay. Okay, a ghost is someone's relative, so why would they or ghosts be evil? Let's see. I don't know what Keith said about these. I'm going to say they are put in a way where their perceptions are massively changed and they have to get used to it. Some of them do, most of them do, some of them don't get used to it. And that's how we end up with haunted places, haunted cemeteries, haunted churches, haunted houses. The ones that don't get used to it. And they don't have access to the other side, the light, whatever. Okay. So, wow, continuing the Halloween program. All right. And Samo is saying ghosts are cool. We misinterpret them. I agree. We misinterpret. And okay. Right. Some ghosts are known to protect people. I see a lot of the talking is just between y'all, and that's cool. So some ghosts are known to protect people, says Samo. Yes. Relatives that do understand what's going on, why what is happening. Okay, Keith is coming back. I kept your mic muted because we could kind of hear you in the background. I'm like, hey, he wants this off air. It stays off air.
It boils down to I didn't want to interrupt the show. Fact of the matter is, my voice carries. That's just the way that goes.
Yep.
But priority one, my family goes first.
Of course.
You
So
know,
it was a family call, not aliens this time.
no.
Okay. I have yet, you know what? I've gotten a ghost on the phone. I've never gotten an alien on the phone. I have gotten ghosts on the phone, never aliens. I say ghosts. I mean a spiritual something. I was talking to somebody and I said jokingly, this is such a cool story. I was talking to about spirit guides and doing things and I jokingly say, "Are you getting all that?" And we both hear, "Yep." I was like, "What? Who's this?" Did you hear that?
Well, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Yeah. Are you getting all this? And we heard a voice say, "Yep." I was like, "It's the FBI." Who's this? But that was such a cool instance. That was such a cool. Oh man, and it hasn't happened in a long time, but I will never forget it happening. That was so cool. Either it was the FBI or it was the spirit guide saying, "Yep, I'm getting all this."
Yeah, and like I'm just looking at what Samuel put here. When you do see a ghost, a spirit, a shadow person, most times it's a loved one. It's a loved one of yours. For me, that's about as far outside the normal realm as you can get. I seldom run into ones I love.
Hmm.
But then you got to remember, I have so many ghosts around me and spirits around me. I don't like people that much.
I understand. Yeah, I don't. I hear you. I keep to myself a lot too. Okay, I'll go ahead and bring that down. And okay, let me address this a little bit. When you see a ghost spirit shadow person, most of it's okay. That's possible if that person needs those people to be around them. Our loved ones come around us anyway, and they really don't really get involved in a whole lot of stuff unless it is absolutely necessary. And if they do manifest this from stories, okay, from stories I've had watched or told to me. They don't get involved and manifest unless they are needed to, and it is part of their path to not make that decision, but make this other decision. That's to Samo, and yeah, it's just because my people will get involved, but my family has never materialized. Although recently, I've been able to talk to people, and which is cool. I think it's cool. My dad, he passed away a couple of years ago, and I was thinking about it, and I did the reaching out thing, and I heard him laugh and say, "Hello, Nathan," and it shocked me because it was clearly 30-year-old dad. He was 70. I don't remember 70 something when he passed away under very, in my opinion, suspicious circumstances. But it was his young voice saying, "Ha ha ha, hello, Nathan." And I think he was like, I don't know, in the process of going from one state to another. We had talked about it. Okay, anyway, that. So Samuel was talking about shadow people coming to visit us. That might happen for some people. I have never experienced it. I wish I had something to relate to it, but just not that I want that to happen, but I.
It was funny because I had a, if you will, an intervention just 2 or 3 days ago now.
Oh,
Because my mom, my dad, my two eldest brothers, and my grandmother all showed up to explain a few things. Now, the first thing you got to realize is all five of the people I just mentioned have been dead for more than 2 years at the least.
did you figure out what they were intervening on you for?
Oh, yeah. They absolutely were very clear cut about it. I got apologies for being left without the ability to cope with this planet because they were way too concerned with the rage I brought in from the murder of my girlfriend in 1828. I brought that with me into this world, and they were really worried about where that would have gone. But they also said that I did come in here. They reiterated I came in to do a specific job, and I've still got that capacity. I just have to take into consideration that I've got to do it my way. It's not going to be done in a standard fashion, which, yeah, as I was told, I'm completely off my rocker. Okay. I mean, I've questioned that for years. But I got told I was absolutely insane. And the sad thing you got to realize is when somebody tells you you're insane, they're telling you that you're in the state of sanity, which boils down to you're fine.
Right. Well, whenever somebody calls me crazy, I look at anything going on around me and I say, you know what? Sure. Sure. Look at this. Look at that. I'm the crazy one.
Yeah.
And it could be anything. It could be literally anything going on around me. And the yardstick final kind of like, well, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just fitting in. No,
Well,
I am the crazy one.
my other half actually asked me point blank, why are you so interested in fitting in this lifetime? You never have in the past.
Mm-hmm. Was there an answer?
Oh, yeah. I looked at her and went, honestly, I don't really know anymore.
Yeah.
I do know I've got enough strength actually telling me I'm fine. I don't have to worry about being locked up to enjoy the vertical bar scene.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just like how can we get along in society? Then you're you're okay. Can we not disrupt society? Then you're okay.
Ultimately correct.
It seems that way. I mean, if you're disrupting society and you're basically hurting other people, then you're a problem and you need to be dealt with. But if you're not hurting anyone, I think it's like what do they call it? Complaint based customer service. They only address complaints if there is a complaint.
Well, I mean, there are things that are just not working, but people keep making the mistake of taking events and fitting them into human thinking. It doesn't work well. If you're going
Right.
to look at, even in the quantum realm, if you're going to try and take the quantum realm and make it make sense to humans who don't even understand the basic realm, to be frank, you're going to run into problems.
Yeah, it's all about perception, context, and knowing there's basics to this stuff. And no wonder dude's head was twitching and he was going to explode when I started talking about having you on the show. He just can't handle it. He doesn't understand it.
Who was this?
Oh, this was someone at work. I was telling him this was a while back. This is a while ago. I was having you on the show as a guest. And I think it's actually what we were talking about. I misnamed the show on Rumble. I forgot to change. It's when we talked about Antarctica the first time. And I told him about that show coming up. And I gave him like the nutshell bio. And he just started glitching because he wasn't ready for it. Total denial. He thinks all of it is, and he immediately said flat Earth, and I'm like, no, that's no.
Oh, him. I like the way my son put it.
Mm.
Everybody, even every one of the flat earthers says the same thing. All the other planets are round ish. And like my son said, he looks at it and goes, they're all agreeing to say that the rest of the planets are round. Who was the genius that decided to put a flat one in there?
Yeah. Right. Sounds like an engineering error. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Sure. But yeah, no, that's what that guy did. He immediately went to flat Earth because that's the only thing he can relate these topics that we are all into go to is flat Earth and Bigfoot believers are crazy. I'm happy for him because if he's not ready to have his world rocked, and Keith, the world is about to get changed. I don't know why there's so much of the weirdness making its way into mainstream that something about a presidential election. What is I don't understand the deal here, right?
Well, the one question I always ask, am I hearing correctly when you look at the presidential election? Am I hearing correctly that your guys' legal system turned around and said somebody in prison can set the stage to run for president?
Okay.
You understand, I don't follow politics even here.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Okay, you're talking about Trump, I believe, right?
That was what I heard.
Okay. He was not in prison.
Okay.
He was never in prison. Yeah, you're not in the country, so I know the news getting to us is skewed, slanted, and filtered. I can just imagine what's going out to the rest of the world, right? He didn't go to prison, but right, Storm is saying he isn't in prison yet. And let me talk a little bit about that, right? We don't want to put our politicians in prison because
there wouldn't be enough room.
Well, for that.
Sorry.
But it's right, it's the face of it. They don't want America, the United States, to look like someplace that they put the politicians in prison because the other side is in control. It really is kind of like a royals thing. The British royals have not put each other in prison, though I'm pretty sure they have grounds to if they wanted to. They want to maintain some kind of image, right?
And
And
this is where my whole outlook and where the big difference between what's going on Earth and what's going on off Earth. When you're looking at it, if a legal system is going to work, never mind them being politicians or plumbers or street people. If a law is broken, the law's got to be upheld on all fronts. But I understand the issue of image. You know, that's what's driven things into the state it's in at this point. But, you know, the moment people start talking about off-worlders getting involved in fixing votes, now you just got to start asking who's handing out the right drugs.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think off-worlders want to deal with that. They want us to not blow ourselves up.
They don't care if you blow yourself up, in all fairness.
The planet. They don't want us to, right.
No.
Obviously, but they don't like all the intervention with the nuclear arms, right? That have nobody will confirm it. But then why would they confirm something they have no control over?
1996, they did confirm when the world started going to DEFCON 1 and they were firing up the missiles. They did recently confirm that UFOs were seen over all of the missile silos at the same time that the nuclear powers, nuclear plants, shut down.
I was in Texas at that time in 96. I'm remembering, yeah, we had alerts happening.
Yeah. I wasn't in Texas at that time.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I was in Texas. I was in the military. Yeah. I was assigned to Fort Bliss, and I'm trying to remember what was going on. And yeah, we had, by the way, from being in the military, right? Not quantum show stuff, but maybe it is. There were a lot of alerts, and our units mounted up basically. They were beginning to fly over to places like Israel and and I forget. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a day or two.
Yeah, that we
almost 30, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Time going the long way around. Can't wait to get my TARDIS. But
just don't get a revamped one.
No,
you've got TARDIS.
Right. Oh, that's so politically incorrect. I love it. I love it here on the Quantum Show. But I'm trying to remember what was going on in 96. Yeah, the cab was about to move out, but they kept getting pulled back because peace talks were winning. And I believe that's when you're talking about that DEFCON all went up, because I remember there were a lot of scares on post for us soldiers. There were a lot of scares. And some of us, they even reorganized because of these scares. And it used to be El Paso was purely an army base, or Fort Bliss was purely an army base. And then they went, all the branches have a presence there, and quite a big presence. It's not just like one small unit. It's all the branches are there now. And like kind of like don't keep all your eggs in one basket type of mentality. Uh-oh, what's going on over here?
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
Oh boy.
What's up?
No, I'm getting comments on the last show. So thank you, Samo. Appreciate your comment. I'll have to address it after the show because I don't want to drag it in. but I saw a lot. There were a lot of alerts going on, and I didn't know they had confirmed that those
Oh
things
yeah,
had.
about 5 years ago, they declassified the photos.
Okay, I need to go look for that.
That
And
you'll have to do.
I have a network ready. I don't mean the Crystal Network. I mean Amy and Rich. They're all over this stuff. By the way, I invited Amy to the panel tonight, but she's a busy lady, so. And I have told her about your show, and I'm sure she's gone there a couple times at least. Hopefully, she's a fan. Like and subscribe. R. Keith Andrews. Link in the description. Okay, your link lives here. Your link lives here. You okay over there?
Oh, just a muscle spasm, nothing serious.
All right. So we were talking about well, let me just look at the chat, right? Let's see here. Tim is saying we were soldiers, angels and demons, lobbyists for good and evil. Yeah. Me and DJ Wardove, Tim, we were in the same unit. We were in it at the same time. So I know him through and the army. We were in the army. And we have a few stories together, right? We've gone over them before. And so yeah, we were soldiers. We were following orders. Okay, we didn't know what we were doing. I actually almost got in trouble for telling my command, my whole chain of command, I want to know why we're doing what we're doing. Almost got in trouble for that because they consider that insubordination. And luckily, go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I'm just thinking I could never get charged with insubordination. I'd have to actually bite my tongue at some point. It's just a way of life for me.
Right. But
Mind you, they wouldn't take me anyway.
Yeah. Well, well, they wouldn't take you like they took me, but apparently they'll take you other ways.
Well,
But
yeah. You know, the military has this thing up here about epileptics and automatic weapons. They don't like putting them together.
Right. Yeah. That is an automatic out for our military also. And even if it's, I've got a friend, he came up as epileptic, but it was a temporary thing. He grew out of it. He had one seizure, but I think it was chemically induced because of the environment that he was in.
See, mine's a one-time deal. I started with the epileptic seizures when I was 20 months old, and I've managed to. We did find a way to cure the grand mals. You just have to have one fatal seizure, resets it.
Oh, okay. Well,
by the way, don't use that.
You're a special case, Keith. Very special case because you have a lot of people influencing and have been influencing your life ever since then. Off-worlders. Oh my god. No. The worst I ever got called was a tree hugger. When I was in Fort Bliss, Keith, it was like more all-inclusive religious mindset people. How they wanted everybody to get along. When I got to Germany, it was deep right-wing Bible Belt people running the show, and then I showed up, and I scared him to death. Yeah, he's referring to a story I told where I was brought in for an interview because I was just young and overzealous and didn't think about it. I printed business cards saying that I was pagan. That was all. And then my command got one and it scared them. They said I was trying to start a cult. And I was like, whoa, no, I'm not trying to do nothing like that. They accused me of being, what do they call it? A conscientious objector. I'm like, you don't know much about paganism. They're not conscientious objectors. They believe in standing up for themselves. They really do. Pagans, well, everybody does. There's always like strings attached, but I'm still going through here. Thanks for hanging out with me, Keith. Thanks for everybody hanging out.
Well, you put the link in, I figured I'd poke my nose in, and then I find out that you're the only one in here. So,
Yeah, hey, we make it happen, right? We make it happen. And I'm not gonna have like what oh man, if I take questions, it won't be things like what do aliens taste like? I face palm when I hear those questions. When you go on other shows. Shout out
oh,
SOR, shout out Dave Scott.
yeah, I look at those questions. It's like, you know, when you think about it, it's like, are there not more pressing questions or more useful questions?
Right. It makes me think of the time where this dude had the most advanced computer sitting in front of him. It could do voice, it could do video. I mean, out of the box. This was a high speed, high end machine. Gaming, sound, video, network, all this stuff. He was playing Pong. And I was like, oh, dude, really? But whatever. I find myself playing Pong sometimes. It's,
Oh, I remember Pong. It was the real go game when computers first came out.
yeah.
Mind you, the one that got my attention was when I was living in the bar. I was playing Ms. Pac-Man.
Hmm.
The neat part there was the average person in the game, and that was they actually had video games in the bar that we could sit down and play. The average person would get 50,000 on one quarter. The average decent player. The lady I was playing with, we would put one quarter in, and we'd break 200,000.
Yeah. It's all it's not you know what? I can say this and it be relevant. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, it
Miss
really is.
Pac-Man.
I mean, that day in particular, it was funnier than hell because we turned around and the girl was a waitress. And she was told early on, she said, "Look, we're not going to need you tonight." So her and I started drinking and playing Ms. Pac Man.
Mhm.
Well, we went into the night and I'm sitting on the table on my side. I'm sitting on the chair. I've got one hand on the table to make sure I don't fall off because I'm looking at three tables. Right. She's in the same shape on the other side, and we're playing along, no problem at all. And then all of a sudden, the lights come on. Well, when we looked around, it was when I say it was standing room only. It's a good thing the fire marshal didn't come in because we had just enough room to get our arms moving. The dance floor, the whole floor itself, even up in the DJ booth, was jam packed with people. Like it was literally standing room only.
Watching your game?
Well, yeah, what we didn't know was people in the bar I was in, left the bar and went running to the four other bars that were on the same strip and emptied them into our bar. You
Yeah, it was
know,
one of those times you was rocking the boat, Keith.
oh yeah.
Rocking that boat. Okay, well, yeah, uh, I was just bringing up these insubordinate for the travel. It says, yeah, right, okay. And I told the business card, and then he was like, "Since you brought it up, yeah, I don't have too many things I don't talk about. I just don't want nobody to get upset over this stuff because we're just talking about it. I'm not affecting reality, and I'm not going to try to affect the world. I will try to help out my buddies, my neighbors, and and I'm going through the chat. Okay, and let me go ahead and bring this up. Tim saying we recommissioned a bunch of World War II soldiers to reteach mounted land okay, to reteach mounted land navigation to the special forces in the 90s. I was not privy to that, but I can totally see that bringing in the pros, bringing in the people with the experience to teach the new guys. I can see that.
Well, what makes sense?
Yeah. Um, I actually I got lost one time. I was with my chaplain, and we ended up in a restricted zone. And we were in the field. This was on Fort Bliss area. We were in the field. I know you're not military, Keith, but
Actually, I am. I grew up
oh,
on a military base.
okay. Well, then you know there are no-go zones, places where
Oh
it's
God, yeah.
authorized personnel only. Well, I misread the map. I was off a few degrees, even though there was a road that seemed to correspond to where I was trying to go. But I was on the wrong road. I ended up at some kind of ultra top secret thing. There were cameras watching me, and me and the chaplain were there in a Humvee outside this gate with barbed wire. But there didn't seem to be people around. Everything seemed to be automated. And I took the few minutes right then to break the map back out. Those maps are enormous and they're hard to deal with in a little seat, right? And I was like going through the numbers, going through the process, and then I went restricted area, authorized personnel. I was like, oh, hey sir, I think we should just go somewhere else, not here. Yeah, Alan, let's go. Just let's go. And yeah, we were in. I saw stuff that I thought was science fiction, but not crazy science fiction, like robotic. There was a trailer, but it didn't look. There was a trailer there with missile racks, but no missiles. But
I'll use the same term I used for myself there, Nathan. Think,
hmm,
then speak.
right, right, okay. I saw this trailer, but it was a four-wheel trailer, and it looked like it had a motor on it, and it looked like it could be by itself. That was GI Joe. But they called them the Rats, remote activated something or other, right? It was. I didn't think this thing existed, and I when I asked, I went and I went and asked these people. Well, not these people, but we left. Okay, you were like, this is a restricted area. We left. We ended up way far where we were supposed to be from. But I went back and I said, hey, I got lost in the desert going to the field, and I saw this, and I actually drew him a picture of it. I draw, I draw, and I can like get the point across, right? And they didn't know what the heck I was drawing. And they are the ones that said, that looks like something from G.I. Joe. I'm like, oh man, G.I. Joe was science fiction military. That's what they were. But yep, okay. Keith's first yawn. You have been outed. You're tired. I know you're tired.
I've been tired for a long time.
Okay, well, tell you what.
But this is my first yawn, and I've yawned a lot of times over the years.
And I'm going to go through the chat room. We got Alien Bless for watching and being here. Oh, being here. If you're here, you're quantum. Thank you. Samo. Again. Get a good stretch. And Aussie is saying, please like and subscribe if we hear your quantum. I keep forgetting to say stuff like that. YouTube likes it when I say that. I keep forgetting to say that. We need directors. We've got good. I got Aussie and Tim and Samo. They're the ones really pushing the buttons over here. I just say it. But tell you what.
Well, that's why you bring moderators in, is to handle those little bits and pieces.
Yep. Well, let me tell you, the show on Rumble says, talking Antarctica with our Keith Andrews. And here you are. But wait till they hear about all the stuff that we did talk about, though. So that's okay. Yes. Somebody's got to hold the clipboard. When my teleprompter turns off, show goes off. No, I'm just joking. Yeah. But I get inspiration from all over the place, and that is quantum. Keith, I'm going to go ahead and call it. Panel is complete. I think it was good. We talked a lot about this stuff. We debunk. I consider us debunking all that election stuff, right? Because I think it's humans. I don't think it's anything alien.
No, aliens have a much better way of modifying the electoral system. They just kill the candidate, complete with the cabinet.
Right. And well, that's against their rules. They don't interfere with us.
Humans have their own way.
Yep. Aliens they deal with that with their own people, I guess. But I've never seen an alien overthrow of anything. Okay. Aliens in the elections, debunked. I will say debunked. Here on the Quantum Show with R. Keith Andrews, debunked. And yeah. So mission accomplished. Thanks, everybody. Keith, thanks for coming on and clicking over to join the panel with me.
Not a problem, Nathan.
Okay. Get some rest. I'm going to go ahead and start pushing buttons on my own. And look at that. It's perfect timing. Perfect timing. I'm out of coffee. Pushing
Well, there
buttons.
you go.
Thanks, everybody. Keeping it quantum and keeping it more real than the world is ready.
Well, thanks guys.
Y'all have a good night.
Good one.
See you next week. If I have something come up during the week, I'll make a short and pushing all these buttons.